Okay, so you still start off the same way by setting up your chart. And see if you can put them in alphabetical order. Remember, angles are capital letters and sides are the small letters across from them. So we only know Q is 90 degrees for the angles. And we know little p is 18. And we know little n is 11. And we don't know little q. Now, if you know two sides of a right angle triangle, can you find the other one without using trigonometry? Yes, by using what? Pythagorean theorem. Okay. So we can use Pythagorean theorem. So in this case, it won't always be this, so please don't make that mistake, but it won't always be that it's the hypotenuse that's unknown, but in this case it is. Does everyone see that? And the hypotenuse is the one that's on the side by itself. So when we go to find little q, we can do q squared equals 11 squared plus 18 squared. But if it had been a leg that I needed to find, then the number would be filled in here, and there'd be a letter on this side. Everyone remember that from grade 1? Okay, there's a practice question like that, so if you get stuck, ask for help. Alright, so then we can go q squared equals, and then feed that into our calculator, 11 squared plus 18 squared. So if you add them together, you get 445. And then you need to square root. So you get q is approximately 21.1. So a dot. When you go and fill it in your chart, put a dot above your equal sign and then 21.1. So size always to one decimal. Okay? And kind of ask yourself, especially if you're using the Pythagorean theorem, the hypotenuse always ends up being the longest side. So if you do it and you get the hypotenuse is shorter than one of these two sides, then you've done something wrong. Okay? Or if you calculated one of these sides and it's longer than the hypotenuse, you did something wrong. Okay? Hypotenuse is always your longest side. All right, so now we have to find, we can choose whether we want to find angle N or angle P, because we can get the other one by subtracting from 180. So which one do you want to find? Look at your picture. You want to find P? So I'm going to write down find P. Capital P. So if I'm finding angle P, then I label my sides according to angle P. So the opposite is 18, and the adjacent is 11. Now I know the hypotenuse as well, but it wasn't given to me, so I'll cross that one off, although it wouldn't matter, okay? But that means I'm going to use tan. Yeah. So I'm going to go tangent of angle P equals 18 over 11. And then to find an angle, you have to do tan inverse on both sides. So I'm doing tan inverse on both sides, which means that angle P will end up being the tan inverse, that's a little -1, and then bracket 18 over 11. Angle P is approximately 58.5, so that would be 59 degrees approximately. So then you come back to your chart, put a dot above the equal sign, put fill in 59 degrees. And then to get angle N is just 180 minus P minus Q. So you can just do that on your calculator. You don't even have to show this, but it's our kind of one of our first questions through, so I'm making sure you understand how to get it. 180 minus 90 minus 59 is 31. Put a dot because if 59 was approximate, then so is N going to be approximate. And make sure you have degrees for your angles, and if there's any units, like centimeters or whatever, for your sides, but in this case it wasn't. Okay? All right, so you have time now to practice.